welcome to the part 2 of how to restore a Zen. So again, as you see the condition, it's a work in progress. However, all said and done, the majority of the work has happened beneath the bonnet. Let me open that and show you. Let's see what's there this time. Okay, if you see, there are quite a few minor changes that have happened. First thing, if you see, the holder itself was not there for the bonnet. That has been fixed. Though it's a very minor thing. Yes, it has been done. If you observe the carburetor cap, the air filter cap has been painted. That is one major thing. And if you observe last time, all these nuts and bolts were missing. So the best part of it is we've got all the nuts and bolts fixed. And also if you observe here, there was all the wires dangling out, and there was no connection at all. So basically we've got the oxygen sensor fitted, the carburetor is, and also if you observe from the back, there are a couple of new parts. Basically we've got the carburetor overhaul kit, and then we've got it tuned for better running. Okay, so if you come down further this side, if you see, this cable is a bit new. This is the new accelerator cable that has been fixed. So this basically the idea was So basically the idea was whenever I accelerated, there was a couple of microseconds of gap that was there. So changing this accelerator cable has kind of fixed that problem. The other thing that we have done is the clutch was slightly on the heavier side. If you observe here, we have got the new clutch cable fixed, and so this is a Type 1 Zen model. This was not the hydraulic clutch. This is a typical mechanical clutch that was there. So this new clutch cable and a little bit of overhauling and changing the transmission fluid has basically brought some life into the clutch and the gear shifting pattern. It's quite slick and it's quite tight now, and it's doing good. So basically these are the small things that have been done, and overall if you see here, this is the new this is a new component that you can see. Basically this is connected to the struts. Both the front struts have been changed. This will mean that the vehicle moves in a planned way, and it would be able to absorb the potholes. But again, if you see, the rust is still there. This part of the car has not been worked upon, so that is still there. Even when I see that the struts have been changed, I see the ride a bit bumpy. I think the coil springs have to be changed, so that also will be done in the next part. So essentially what we have done is all the nuts and bolts have been missing nuts and bolts have been fixed, and the clutch cable, the accelerator cable, the struts, and the suspension bush kits have all been replaced. So it is at least 3 to 4 points above where it was. So the vehicle is closer to getting mechanically fit. Now this is what has happened, and if you observe, for the keen observers who have seen my first part, you would be able to observe that there was no lock on the petrol opener. So the idea is we've got the petrol lid opening mechanism. We've got the cable. There's always a cable that gets attached from the lever over there to the petrol can opener. So basically that is also taken care of. If you observe the tires, that is the major difference. I did forget to talk about the tires. So basically what happened was the tires were faded. The tires were not, because of the tires there was a wobbly run. So what I've done is I've taken a set of second-hand wheels, and I've got them attached. So the tires are, though they are second-hand, they are still having life of about say 20,000 kilometers. They run well. This has massively changed the running. However, there are a few problems that have still not been tackled. One that I talked about was the bumps are not being taken well. So I believe the coil suspension has to be changed. The coil springs have to be changed. Inside, I was talking about the AC. The AC that was not running well, that still has an issue, because our mechanic was able to tell us that the problem is with a component called actuator component. That basically what it does is when the AC is switched on, the RPM level increases. to maintain the required power for running the AC. That is missing. That is not happening. So basically there's a problem with that actuator. We're not able to source that part, but yes, the search is on. We need to be able to get that. The other parts of it is, however, in the backside. If you come and observe, I started, basically the idea is I've already spent about 20 to 25,000 on this. So my overall cost stands at around 75,000, which is, I feel, is way over the budget. So what I've decided is I've taken the mantle on my own. I've taken the mantle into my things. I'm sorry, what to say? I've taken up the body work that I'm going to do on my own. So I started working on it. There are a couple of major things that I worked on. If you come down over here, there was a huge hole over here. I have got that fixed. That's the major achievement that I've done. That's good. And there was a lot of rust in the beadings. Which has been painted and refixed. Okay, and there were a couple of areas where there were huge gaps. So what I've done essentially is I've made use of this fiberglass epoxy resin technology to fix that. Of course, this stability has been provided by a thin sheet metal that will be within the fiberglass. I could show it. Let me just show that to you. Okay, so if you observe here, this piece was not at all there. This is the new fiberglass stuff that I have been talking about. So let me just explain you what I've done in a couple of statements so that you can try it out at your home. Okay, let me fix this first. Okay, so basically the idea is fiberglass, when it gets in contact with an epoxy resin hardener, it becomes hard. You can mold fiberglass into any shape that you want. I've made use of that technology, which is already there in the European countries, but in India, when I inquired, there were not many people who were even aware of this. So what I did was I tried online. Online. I figured out that the components and the materials are available. I ordered them online. I got them. And I tried. It is pretty much successful. So basically what you do is you apply epoxy resin to the affected area. You use the fiberglass to basically attach itself to the metal. Basically there's a bond that is formed between the fiberglass and the metal, and also the bond helps fiberglass to thicken itself and become as hard as a metal. So that way I've covered up the gaps. This part is almost over apart from the bumpers and the front bonnet. Now let's talk about the front bonnet. This again, if you observe, there were a lot of gaps. There were a lot of the metal was shown. What I've done here essentially is I've sanded out the area which was of concern. I have applied the metal paste. So if you observe that after applying the metal paste, I have done a little bit of sanding, and then the primer coat is again applied. This way it is all the more smoother, though there's a little bit of work that is need to be done. The cowl, the windshield cowl, I have just got it painted. If you observe in the front, the radiator grill was still an old one. I've got that fixed. So basically we are somewhere close to getting it mechanically perfect. The work is happening on the body side. Let's take it for a spin and see how she rides. Let's see how she starts. That is very important because the carburetor has been cleaned and most of the overhauling has been done at that end. The engine oil has been topped up and the transmission liquid has been replaced. So I believe she should be running well. Let's give her a yank. This, I don't know whether you would be able to hear this. This is a lot smoother and lot silent compared to what it was earlier. So let's get on to the drive. Now, what happens is, even after me getting some of the things mechanically fixed, the ride was wobbly. So what happened was I had to get the tires replaced. After replacing the tires, I see that there is a dramatic improvement in the ride and handling. The steering is a lot more responsive, but yes, I am still not happy with the way she responds in terms of steering. I can observe all the bumps and dents or whatever is there on the road, the potholes on the road, and my steering is directly taking it. So I'm not happy with that. I need to get that fixed. I don't know how, but I need to get that fixed. So that is what is I believe the push kit or something would be wrong in the steering column, so that might need a replacement. However, that being said, she's a lot better than how she was. She picks up well, there's no gap. When I accelerate, she accelerates. When I give it a yank, she goes fast. So that way she is closer to getting good. So the other things that are still needing a fix is basically the AC. I'm not really happy with the AC. Whenever I switch on the AC, the RPM should be going above the basic limits. Should be going above the basic limits. That is not happening. I need to source that component in the carburetor and I need to get that fixed. Not sure how, but yes, that needs a fix. Then again, the locks they were not working at all. The lock repair kit has been used and they're lubricated and they're working better. So basically the car is a lot more secure now. I don't have to worry about it being I don't need to worry about the thieves as such. So okay, so the other things that really needs attention is I was talking about the water seepage. If you remember, if you see in the first part, I've talked about my worry on the water seepage. That still exists. From the back side, yes, it is fixed, but from the front side, it is still not fixed. I see. I mean, last time when I let the lady trench in the water, what happened was I could collect at least half a glass of water in my passenger seat. That is not a good sign. So, and I observed that there are a couple of holes in the floor pan that needs to be fixed, and the running board has a couple of holes. And one more point that I need to make here is when I was trying to use the jack to get the tires replaced, there was a small creak that I heard. That means the running board itself is not that strong. Now I need to figure out what is the solution for that. I need to see if there is any rust and get the tinkering done for that part. That is costly, but I need to do it. Otherwise, it would not really be the best. So currently, I'm not really thinking about making profit. I'm not thinking about getting her sold. I'm not getting into those details because I think I'm way beyond those things. I need to get her fixed. I'm somehow not convinced that I have the best of the vehicle. The engine is perfect. The body work has to be done. Only then I can call that she is perfect. I have a couple of plans up my sleeve. So let's see how that goes. And let's see how she runs. I have this is the part 2. I will have another couple of parts where I'll be talking about the rest of the idea that I have in my mind. Let's see how she works. Okay, so again, so you were able to see how she runs. She's not bad, but still there's a long way. So I have one advice for you guys. One is basically I think you need to think whether it's cost or whether it's the effort that you need to put in. So again, I bought the vehicle for about 47k and I've spent already another 25 to 28,000 rupees, and I'm at 75k and I'm nowhere close to being perfect. But yes, there are a couple of advantages. I've got my papers done. I'm the second owner of a 93 model Type 1 Zen. There are not any, I don't see any 93 model being sold on the classifieds or anywhere else. So that way I would consider this as pretty rare. Talking about the engine is smooth. Yes, it is still about a couple of points away from being perfect. The body, yes, I think I had to be a bit more conscious or careful when I had to think of getting this car. I could have bought a better car, but yes, I like her. I would love to get her back to shape. And okay, the couple of points that I want to say is I mean, if you don't want to put in this much of effort, you can always think about a car which satisfies all your needs and has no repairs at all. Get a mechanic, see the engine, get it checked and check the body work. Go to a workshop, see the the body underneath and check the chassis, all those things. I missed a couple of points, so I would say I'm still not unhappy. I'm happy with the way things are going. It's a learning curve for me. Okay, the things that you could have checked is check under the beadings. Check under each and every beading. See whether there's any rust. See whether there's any accident points. Check the under chassis. I think these are the points that you need to worry about. All said and done, I mean, it's a matter of it's a catch-22 situation whether you need to give importance to the engine or you need to give the importance to the body work. So let me put it this way: engine is very important, but chassis is equally important because getting the body work done is not at all easy. It is costly, yes, unless you are ready to put in that hard work and get it fixed. I think it's quite tough to get a good car at a low price, and this being a premier car during its time, I still believe that there's some amount of life left in it. I would want to get that out, and I would want this to be in pristine condition. I would want to have it. Let's think about the other aspects later on. And couple of my viewers have come back with a response saying that I need to talk about the safety aspects. Always wear your seatbelts, that's very important, and also respect the traffic and respect the rules and drive safe. Thank you. See you in the part 3 where I would be talking about more updates. Thank you.